How do you build and maintain strong relationships with your clients and team members? What advice would you give to someone considering starting a business, especially in the home service industry?
Hello, my name is Shauna Browne, and I'm speaking with Novantum today. I have a Molly Maid franchise. I purchased my first franchise in 2012, and then I purchased my second franchise in 2022. Molly Maid is a brand that's been around since 1979, and it's a brand that is supported by other resources. We have our partners and our head office to support us, but I thought maybe I could share a little bit about our business for anyone that is looking to start up their own.
Jumping into the first question, how did your journey with Molly Maid begin, and what inspired you to take the leap into franchise ownership?
Yeah, that's an easy one. So my parents purchased a franchise in 1988. So as a teenager, we grew up with a franchise in our home, learning about the importance of customer service. I went on to do my own thing. And then after I had my last daughter, my parents asked if I would come help them in their office. So I did that for almost 9.5 years. And then my husband and I decided to purchase our own franchise. You know, purchasing the franchise was going to allow me to have a business that, yes, I was the boss, but really most important that I could work around my family. So that was super important to me.
What were some of the biggest challenges you faced early on, and how did you overcome them?
I think really just, coming from the family business and working for my mom for 9.5 years, I knew what I was doing, but when you have the final say on everything, knowing that I had staff that were 100% relied on me, just that extra added pressure was probably the one thing I had to learn. I was still, I think, fairly young, and just making sure I had the confidence. I knew what I was doing, so making sure I had the confidence that I relay that to other people.
In the beginning, when you first started out, what did you think was a priority versus when you started to own the business? What was really the priority?
I think, in the beginning it was just, getting the work done. And then when I took over the franchise, it was more making sure my clients were happy, making sure my teams were happy. So I just felt a more personal, I was responsible for making sure this business was successful, because not only do I want to provide the service to our clients, but I want to provide a paycheck to our teams.
What do you think has been the key to your ability to scale to successful franchises, especially in comparison to others in the same industry?
I had a large franchise and then decided to purchase the other franchise, so it was a little bit of a challenge, but I think just keeping in contact with your clients, keeping in contact with your staff, I think making sure the staff know they're appreciated, and that's super important, because if I don't have staff, I don't have a business. Continual contact with both customers and my team is what I think makes us successful.
How do Molly Maid's values like compassion, excellence, and collaboration show up in your day-to-day operation and leadership style?
Yeah, at Molly Maid we have purpose, caring, all in, teamwork. Those are all values that we do and we have to look at on a daily basis. You have to, again, teamwork is really big for us, being all in, giving 100% that you have, the caring, that's all, making sure each client has individual needs. All those are different things that you do have to look at every single day and put part of your daily routine.
Was financial independence a driving force for you from the start, or did your motivations evolve as your business grew?
Financial, it wasn't my driving purpose. In that, it needed to help support my family, but my driving purpose of having the business was so that I could work a business around my family. Previous job, I was driving an hour and a half to and from work every day. That was time away from my family. I was missing a lot of different opportunities. So for me, that was the number one reason why we purchased the business, was so that I could bring in an income and still work around my family.
What resources or support systems do you wish you had access to when you were starting out?
I think the only part that I was more funding. So I didn't realize maybe there was some opportunities for business loans or support that way. So I wish I was more educated in that way, just to have that little bit of it's a lot operating a business. There's a lot of costs that you don't quite realize. So that's the only part that really, I think I had a lot of support, both from our head office, other partners, and then purchasing the business from my family. My mom was very supportive, so I had all those resources, but it was the financial bit that was a little bit more than I was expecting.
Absolutely. What was your earlier career like before you jumped into the franchise?
I worked as a general manager for a nutritional marketing company. Really I actually started off as a receptionist and worked my way up. So that's kind of my approach on everything. I always start somewhere and see where I can go in building from that. But in that I had a lot of people that I was managing, and so it was learning different personalities and how to deal with different people. And that was definitely a customer service oriented business as well. So learning the importance of customer service. So that gave me a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience that I was able to put into my business.
Did you think their mentorship was a big part of your success as well?
Oh, 100%. I definitely learned a lot from my mom. My dad had since passed away. They had been in it for so long, and I looked up to many of the different things they did. I even changed some things, but built on it, and I definitely am who I am because of my parents.
That's a beautiful answer. How do you build and maintain strong relationships with your clients and team members across multiple locations?
So for my teams, I think it's very important that they know they're appreciated. I want a positive culture in our workplace, so I'm always promoting, different contests for them or different ways that they can. I think it's very important that you wake up every day and you enjoy what you're doing. Life is way too short, so I always tell that to the teams. If there's a challenge that we need to look at, please open communication. But I think every day I thank them at the end of the day for the work that they did for the day. And I think, they may not get another thank you in their life. Got a lot on their shoulders. So if I can give them that one thank you and let them know that they're appreciated, I think that's very important. For our clients, we like to contact them after their first clean, then we contact them after their fifth clean, and then every 6 months. But we also have someone that goes into the homes and just says, hi, I just wanted to see how things are going. Is there something we could do differently? So that continual contact with the clients is very important.
What advice would you give to someone considering starting a business, especially in the home service industry?
Yeah, you definitely have to know your why. Why is what drives you. Why is why you get up every morning. So knowing your why, as I said, my purpose was my family, but also because I love helping people. So, that's that gives me the energy and the drive every day to do, because there are going to be challenges. Of course, when you're in the service industry, there's going to be challenges, but just having the confidence that when something happens, you learn why it happened, what we can do different, and move on. And, for anyone that is starting up a business, again, knowing your why and also having the confidence that you're going to have those ups and downs, just learn from it and move on. It has to be some ups and downs, and that's how we were 2019 to 2023. We were the #1 growing franchise, and then 2024 we had a tough year, but that's okay. We're back on track this 2025, and we'll grow again, and that's what it's all about, is putting your best foot forward. Molly Maid is in the business. We love to say that we provide peace and stress-free environment for people. So if anyone is looking to have their house clean, maybe you're the senior that wants to stay on your own longer. Maybe you have that busy household where the kids are going 5 different directions at once, or maybe you are yourself a busy entrepreneur and don't have time for anything. So we are there to help you take that piece of your things on your shoulder and make sure that you can live the life that you want to live. So if you're looking to hire Molly Maid, we'd be happy to help you. We have a team of 2. They bring all their supplies and equipment with them. All our staff are bonded and insured, and we are a green company. So the products we are using in your home are environmentally safe and friendly. So you can always reach us at mollymaid.ca, or you can contact us at 604-534-9697. And again, we'd be happy to help you. Just type in Molly Maid and direct us your way, and we'd be able to help you with that.